today, right? Adding and subtracting polynomials. In order to add and subtract polynomials, the key thing is to remember is that when you're adding and subtracting polynomials, you add or subtract like terms, which is combining like terms, which we've already done in algebra. We did in pre-algebra, right? Add and subtract like terms. Now this is a kind of a mind twist for us because we just reviewed how to multiply, right? We just reviewed how to multiply powers, but we're not multiplying powers today. We're adding and subtracting things with powers, right? We're not multiplying. And that's hard sometimes for us to go back and forth between the different sets of rules because they're different outcomes. But remember that a like term has exactly the same variable, which is what we practiced with our, I forgot a letter in there, variable, which is what we practiced on our combining like terms homework. So adding polynomials is easy. It's just what we did, what we've always done. You have to remember that we're adding. We're not necessarily going to be as straightforward just because you have to tell your mind not to do the multiplication rules. But for example, there are a couple ways to do these. If you had the example 4b to the 5th plus 8b, and that's your first polynomial, and they're going to put the polynomials in parentheses just to show you that that's like the first quintic binomial. And then they're going to add it to 3b to the 5th plus 6b minus 8. And this would be a quintic trinomial. So I have a binomial or plus a trinomial. But addition doesn't really do anything. Like addition is just addition. Do these parentheses tell you anything in the addition besides what belongs to what? No. Like if I took these parentheses out, it would still be the same problem. So there are a couple ways to do it. Some people will just combine like terms, just looking at it. Others, just to get the hang of it, like to line it up vertically. So they'll put 5b to the 5th, or 4b to the 5th, sorry, plus 8b. And then underneath that, they'll line up plus 3b to the 5th plus 6b minus 8. And then I can just add vertically to get 7b to the 5th plus 14b minus 8. Some people are going to like to do it vertically just so that they can see it. And that's okay. Perfect. Others may say, well, I can color code it. 4b to the 5th plus 3b to the 5th is 7b to the 5th. Again, remember, we're not multiplying. If you were multiplying, that would have a different outcome. This is not multiplication. This is an addition problem. And then I would have plus 8b plus 6b would be 14b, positive. And then minus 8. Same value, same result. If I was going to name this identify, what would this be called? Quintic. Just so that we can all start talking about things using the same vocabulary, right? So adding's pretty straightforward, right? It's combining like terms. Adding's pretty straightforward. Subtracting has an extra step. Subtracting has an extra step. So here's my addition. Addition, we've been basically doing addition for a long time, right? We've been doing this concept of adding polynomials. The only difference is that we have a polynomial plus another polynomial. But again, that doesn't change anything. It's just separating the terms. Subtracting has an extra twist, has an extra step. So if I give you 3x squared minus 2x plus 8 minus, so a quadratic trinomial, minus, and then what about this guy? Let's do 10x minus 4 plus x squared, a quadratic trinomial. This problem has to change, and that's because we're subtracting. So that's really a -1. Up here in the addition problem, I mean, yeah, sure, you could put a 1 in there as a +1, but multiplying by +1, distributing that +1 doesn't do anything. So it's just frivolous. But down here, that -1 outside the parentheses does change your problem. So what we have to do is you have to distribute the minus. You have to distribute that minus, meaning that everything beyond that minus sign changes value. Whatever it touches, and it touches the parentheses, and the parentheses touch these 3 terms, those 3 terms are all going to change. So I'm going to rewrite my problem. My problem now says 3x squared minus 2x plus 8. Still a quadratic trinomial. When that distributes, I now have an addition problem, plus -10x plus 4 minus 1x squared. If you want to line it up vertically, that's fine. 3x squared minus 2x plus 8. Then I have minus 10x. I'm going to have to do a little rewriting of this because it's not in standard form. Plus 4 minus 1x squared. (2x squared minus 12x plus 12. Which again, if you did this by combining like terms horizontally, 3x squared minus 1x squared is negative 2x squared. Negative 2x minus 10x is negative 12x. Yeah, got it, sorry. And then 8 plus 4 is 12. And you get the same result. Question: what kind of identification process? Oops. What's the name that we would give to this item right here? Quadratic. Trinomial.